Hello and welcome back. Actually, I received several messages about creating home labs. So I decided to record this video to show you the steps to create a lab using EVNG. Let's jump in. To set up it, we need two different softwares, VMware and EVNG. So let's Google EVNG download and then download all required tools from EVNG website. Google EVNG download and then click download EVNG. From evng.net website, you are able to download the free version of EVNG, Free EVE Community Edition version 501-13. It's an OVF file which comes with 60 gigs hard drive, but you are able to add more storages if you want. I will show you how to add more storage. So you can download OVF file from Google or from Mega. There is a link also here to download VMware Workstation Player. Come here, go to download, and download the software for your own device if it's Windows or Linux. And you also need to download Windows client-side package, which contains Wireshark, VNC, PuTTY, and some other tools. So, as you can see here, you need three different softwares. Free EVNG, download it from one of these two links, Google Mirror or Mega Mirror. Then download VMware Workstation Player, which is free version of the VMware Workstation, and download Windows Integration Pack. As you can see here, I have downloaded all these three tools. First, we need to install VMware Player. After that, we will add EVNG to the VMware Player, and finally, we install the client pack. Very simple. To add EVNG to VMware Workstation, launch VMware Workstation first. Then open a virtual machine, click on it. From here, go to the path which you have downloaded the EVNG and open OVF file. Give it a name, something like eve-ng-v5. And from here, you can also change the storage path to another drive. And then click import. It might take some time, so I pause the video and return back. As you can see here, the virtual machine being added here, and it took something like 3-4 minutes. Now you can click on Edit Virtual Machine to edit the virtual machine settings. You can change the memory settings. Let me increase it to 16 gig. You can also change the CPU. Maybe you need to add more storages. And here, network type should be bridge because we need to get an IP address from DHCP server, and then click OK. Now let's add 20 gig more storage by clicking Add, Hard Drive, Next, Next, Create New Storage, 20 gig, choose Store Virtual Disk as a single file, Next. You can browse it and put it somewhere which you like, and then click Finish. As you can see here, 20 gig hard drive being added here, and then click OK. Now we need to click on Play Virtual Machine to launch the EVE-NG. As you can see, this machine got an IP address from DHCP server 1.23, and the default username for the console is root, and the password is EVE. But for the web UI, the default username is admin and password is EVE. Now let's log into the device with root and EVE password. You need to do some setup here. If you want to change the password, you can do that. Let me type the old password, which is EVE. Hostname, I'm okay with EVE-NG now. Domain name. If you want to add a static IP address, you can change it. DHCP is okay for me. NTP server, if you want to add, I leave it blank. And okay. All good now. We can log into the device to see if everything is fine. And yeah, now we can launch browser and connect to this IP address 1.23. As mentioned before, to configure firewalls, routers, and other devices, we need some tools like PuTTY or VNC to be integrated in the EVE-NG. For that, we need to install integration pack, which is available for Windows and Mac. For Windows, just download it from download page on EVE-NG and then double click. And then just click next and install all tools. I have installed on my device, so I do not install it now. But you need to install it if you don't have them installed. To connect to EVE-NG web UI, you can type its IP address 192.168.1.23, and then you will see a page like this. You can log into the EVE-NG using admin as a username and EVE as a password, and click sign in. Now you are here in the first page, which you need to create a new lab. Click on it, give it a name, PanOS for example, and then save. Here in this page, you can create your own lab. You can add Palo Alto, Cisco routers, Windows computers, and so on. To do that, you need to right-click and click Node. But as you can see, all items here are grayed out. So first, we need to add our own image to the EVE-NG and then choose it and add it to the lab. So how we can add Palo Alto image file to EVE-NG? It's very easy actually. Search EVE-NG Palo Alto. Here you will find a link on EVE-NG which shows you how you can add Palo Alto image OVA file to EVE-NG. First, you need to create a directory and copy the OVA file to that directory, and then change it to the QCOW2 add it to a directory like PaloAlto dash something. The last step is running this command. So let's do it. To copy the file to EVE-NG, we need a tool like WinSCP. As you can see here, first we need to connect to EVE-NG 192.168.1.23, username root, password EVE, and login. Now let's create a directory here. Name it pan, for example. I have a PaloAlto image file, version 10.1.0 OVA file. Drag it and then copy it here. It might take some time to copy the file, which its size is more than 3 gigs. So I pause the video and return back again. We have the image OVA file here on the EVE-NG now. And as you can see here, our next step is extract the OVA file using tar command and then convert the disk, which is this file, part of the OVA file, to virtual qcode2. To run these two commands, it's better to use PuTTY. So let's run PuTTY and then connect to the EVE-NG and run these two commands too. Using PuTTY, connect to EVE-NG 192.168.1.23 and click open. Yes. Login as root and Eve. So let's run pwd to see which directory we are. We are in root directory, and then ls to list all directories. You can see the pan directory which we have created before. cd pan, change the directory to pan, and then ls to see the file. Now let's extract the OVA file using tar command. Let me pause the video and return back again. All good. Now let's run ls to see the files. As you can see, the vmdk file is listed here. Next command here is this one, to convert the disk file to qcode2. Paste it here and then -disk.vmdk, and the file name is vir t.qcode2 and press enter. Let me pause the video again and return back. Okay, the file has converted to qcode2, as you can see here, and next step is creating a directory which will start with PaloAlto dash and then something, and then we need to move this file to that directory. Let's copy and paste it. .1.0, something like this, and then copy the qcol2 file to, or move it to this directory. We can go to the directory and then check the file. Now we can remove the previous folder which contains those OVA file and other files using rm-rf. And the last step is running this command on evng, and all good. Now we can go back to the web UI and you will see the PanOS image there, and we can add it to the lab. Refresh the page. In the lab, right-click, node, look for PaloAlto, or we can search PaloAlto here. As you can see, its color is blue now. And let's change the RAM to 6 gig. You can also change the Ethernet number to something else. 4 is enough for now. And change the console to Telnet and save it. It's added here. Now let's run it and see what will happen. Again, you can right-click on the PaloAlto icon and then start it. And if you double-click on it or click on it, you will get a pop-up message which says Open SSH. It will run PuTTY. And as you can see, the device is coming up. Let's pause the video and wait for the login prompt. All good. We have the login prompt, and as mentioned before, we need to wait a couple of minutes to device boot up completely, because if we try to log in as admin and admin, you can see we are not able to log in. We need to wait and then log into device. So let's finish it here, and in the next lecture we will see how we can add Cisco switches and routers to the EVNG. Thank you.